Goliath Birdeater, one of the biggest spiders in the world. Are you afraid of spiders? Does the sight of them make your skin crawl no matter how big? Well, if you're one of those people, today we'll talk about a spider whose name alone should be enough to make your skin crawl, the Goliath Birdeater. And if the name didn't give it away, this is the biggest and heaviest spider in the world. So without further delay, let's get right into it. History. The Goliath Birdeater was first described by the French entomologist and arachnologist Léon Jean-Marie Dufour in 1850. That scientific name, Theraphosa, by the way, is derived from the Greek word theros, meaning terror or fright, and phobia, which of course means fear. So you can bet that a spider that's called fear doesn't pull any punches. As for the common name Goliath Birdeater, that actually stems from a big misunderstanding. You see, this spider doesn't actually eat birds. Yes, I know, a bit disappointing, but the fact is that a spider feeding on birds is essentially quite rare. Instead, its diet primarily consists of insects, other arthropods, and sometimes small animals like mice. So why is it called a bird eater, you ask? Well, it was given that name due to an early 18th century copper engraving that shows one of them eating a hummingbird, which led misinformed explorers and naturalists to assume it preyed on them. The Goliath Birdeater is native to the rainforests of South America, including parts of Brazil, Venezuela, Guyana, and Suriname. While they mainly occupy lowland rainforests, they can also be found inhabiting marshy and swampy areas. Within rainforests, the Goliaths inhabit the understory vegetation of the forest. This is the layer of vegetation beneath the canopy of the forest, filled with a complex environment of leaves, roots, and debris that can be used to make burrows out of. Size and appearance. The Goliath Birdeater, as I mentioned, is the largest spider in the world by body mass at 175 grams, 6.2 ounces, and body length of up to 13 centimeters, 5.1 inches. In terms of leg span, it is second only to the giant huntsman spider at a whopping 30 centimeters, 12 inches. That's larger than the size of a typical dinner plate. With these spiders, the adult females are generally larger and heavier than the males. The Goliath has a tough, heavy body covered with dense, dark brown hair that gives it a fuzzy appearance like most tarantulas. The hairs on its body aren't purely aesthetic though, as they serve various purposes. These include insulation, sensory perception, and defense. They can also emit sharp, urticating hairs when threatened, which can prick any potential threats and cause them to back off. These spiders usually come in dark colors, ranging from brownish black to dark brown. The hair on the body can sometimes have a reddish or golden coloration depending on the lighting. They also have 8 thick and sturdy legs, which they use to navigate through the forest and dig burrows to live in. As for their eyes, like most tarantulas, Goliaths have multiple eyes arranged in a pattern on the front of the cephalothorax. Also, did you know that despite having multiple eyes, their vision is actually quite poor? And they rely mainly on touch and vibrations to see their surroundings? Fangs. One of the most distinctive features of the Goliath, besides its size, is its fangs, which are crucial for hunting and capturing prey. Like all spiders, they have 2 chelicerae on the front that house their fangs. The fangs of a Goliath Birdeater are naturally larger and stronger compared to many other spider species. They can measure up to about 2.5 to 3.8 centimeters, 1 to 1.5 inches in length, depending on the size of the individual spider. The fangs are curved and pointed, designed for piercing and injecting venom into prey. That's right, they are venomous. The fangs contain glands that produce venom, which is used to subdue and begin the process of digestion of their prey. When the spider captures prey, it uses its fangs to pierce the exoskeleton or skin of the prey, injecting venom in the process. While the venom produced by the Goliath is potent enough to effectively subdue its regular prey, such as insects and other small creatures, you can take solace in the fact that the venom is not considered medically significant to humans. Bites from the Goliath can cause localized pain and discomfort, similar to a bee or a wasp sting, but severe reactions are extremely rare. Like other spiders, Goliath bird-eaters periodically molt, shedding their old exoskeleton to grow a new one. This process extends to the spider's fangs too. And interestingly, during the molting process, the spider's new fangs are soft and flexible. Webbing. You may be wondering, what do the webs of these spiders look like? Well, you see, since Goliath bird-eaters primarily reside in burrows, they don't use their silk to create intricate webs like other spiders. Unlike other types of spiders, Goliaths do not construct traditional orb webs for catching prey. Their hunting strategy, as we'll see, is much more direct, as it involves ambushing and physically overpowering their prey with its strong body and large fangs. Interestingly, the Goliath's silk also plays a role in its sensory perception. They use vibrations transmitted through their silk threads to sense movements and activities in their environment. This helps them be aware of potential threats or approaching prey. Hunting tactics and diet. Goliath bird-eaters are sit-and-wait predators. Using their dark coloration and dense body hair, they blend into the environments near their burrows and wait for prey to come within striking distance. It's very hard for prey to see them coming. Goliaths have sensory hairs on their legs, known as trichobothria, which are highly sensitive to air movements and vibrations. This incredible feature allows them to sense the approach of potential prey even in near darkness. They can detect the slightest vibrations in the ground or air caused by the movement of insects. Nothing gets past these things. When a potential meal is detected, the Goliath swiftly pounces on its prey, using its large, powerful leg muscles to leap forward and seize the prey with its massive curved fangs. The prey is immobilized once the spider's fangs pierce its body and inject the first dose of venom. After that, it doesn't stand a chance. There's a reason this spider was named after fear. Once the prey is captured, the Goliath prefers to carry it back to its burrow where it begins the digestion process. They do this by liquefying the insides of the prey by injecting it with a healthy dose of venom. This helps break down the internal tissue of the victim, making it ripe for feeding. The spider then proceeds to suck out the insides of their prey. Pretty gruesome. What's really interesting is that if the spider feels threatened or stressed, it may regurgitate its meal. This is a defensive mechanism to quickly abandon a potential food source and flee from danger, especially if it has chosen to feed on its prey outside of its burrow. In terms of diet, while we've already established that the Goliath bird-eaters don't actually eat birds, their diet does consist of critters like beetles, grasshoppers, crickets, moths, and for the bigger spiders, mice and other fellow arachnids. Life cycle and reproduction. When it comes to the life cycle of Goliath bird-eaters, the females mature in 3 to 6 years and have an average lifespan of 15 to 25 years. Males, however, have a much shorter lifespan and die soon after maturity, only living for a total of 3 to 6 years. In terms of reproduction, the Goliaths actually have a very interesting ritual. When a male Goliath reaches maturity, it will begin searching for a receptive female Goliath's burrow. Once located, the male initiates a courtship ritual. This often involves a series of signals and movements, which can include tapping and strumming on the female's web. The male uses these behaviors to communicate his intentions to the female and establish that he is not a threat. If accepted by the female, the mating process begins. This process may actually prove dangerous for the male spiders on rare occasions, as sometimes the females can get aggressive and eat their mating partner. And that, my friends, was the Goliath Birdeater, the largest spider on Earth. We hope you learned something new. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date on videos like this. See you next time.